Police say that traffic volumes have begun to increase as holidaymakers make their way home to the province from various parts of the country. Motorists are advised to obey the rules of the road and take intermittent breaks. They are also urged to avoid driving at night. And for an update, let's cross over to our reporter, Hasina Gori. Hasina, I believe you are at the Crown Interchange, and I do understand that you are with the JMPD spokesperson, Wayne Minna, who really sort of take us through what's happening on Gauteng roads. Of course, all those warnings coming through from JMPD asking us not to drive at night, asking people to be careful on the roads. Let's hand over to you, please, Hasina.
Yes, traffic authorities and law enforcement agents are on high alert as many holidaymakers return back to the province after their holidays. We know that today is the 3rd of January, but for many it's the end of their holidays as they return to work tomorrow. We know all roads leading into Gauteng have been quite busy since yesterday. With me is the JMPD's Wayne Minna. Thank you so much for speaking to me. Can you give me a sense of what is this like on the roads at the moment?
Yes, already the traffic volumes from Limpopo at this point is about 1,800 vehicles per hour. So the N1 from Limpopo is already very heavy. From KZN, we're looking at 1,500 vehicles per hour coming in on the N3. And then the N12 is approximately between 500 and 700 vehicles per hour. So the freeways are already very busy. And we have got officers out on full alert on all the freeways. It is an integrated operation. So all members from the SABC, we've got members of Gauteng Traffic Police, we've got the JMPD and the National Traffic Police working together on this integrated operation. And we are monitoring the freeways very closely. We want to urge drivers to be cautious, not to speed, also not to overtake when it is dangerous, also to observe the road traffic signs and white lines, not to cross over the solid white lines or barrier lines. And then also vehicles coming into Johannesburg must do a pre-trip inspection. They must make sure that the tires on the vehicle is in a good condition, the lights are working, also the steering mechanism and brakes on the vehicles are in a good condition, and very importantly, not to overload, particularly the transport vehicles, not to overload their vehicles because it places extra pressure on the tires and on the braking systems. So we want to really urge motorists to be careful also because we're expecting a lot of rain throughout the country at the moment, and people must adjust to driving on the wet roads because we've had accidents already over the past 24 hours where vehicles skidded out of control. So because of the wet roads, people must adjust not to speed, take it easy because there are officers on duty on all of the main roads and arterials.
We know we're in the second wave of the COVID-19 infection and there's different restrictions. What has that done to the traffic volumes? Are we seeing less people on the roads compared to this time last year, as well as fatalities? What's the numbers looking like so far compared to a normal festive season?
Yes, the traffic volumes are definitely less because of the COVID regulations. And we are seeing also a lot more people driving during the day because they want to avoid the curfew, which is at 9 p.m. So the traffic volumes now is higher as compared to the other festive seasons. And we are also seeing that the drunken driving figures are less because there's no alcohol. So we still want to encourage everyone to wear a mask. It's very important that particularly when they are in the public motor vehicles that they must wear a mask, and in public they have to wear a mask, and also to importantly not to transport any liquor because at this point in time it's prohibited.
You said you brought up the alcohol ban. Do you think that move was the correct one to bring down fatalities and to keep the roads safe, as well as ensure that we don't see a spread of COVID-19 infections?
Yes, no, we know that alcohol contributes to road fatalities. We also know that alcohol is a real problem when it comes to crime. And we know that at this time of the year there's a lot of festivity and celebration. But we want to urge everyone not to consume alcohol, particularly the drivers, not to drink and to drive, because the officers are in full alert and they definitely going to be stopping the majority of the vehicles on the road.
We do know that there's a curfew for 9 p.m. What happens to those motorists that are still returning from their holiday destinations and are still out on the road at that time? Should they caution and ensure that they are home before that, or is there any kind of leeway?
We know that the curfew is regulated, so there's going to be no mercy. People must be at home by 9 p.m. However, where there's an emergency or due to circumstances beyond the control of a driver, the officers will be allowed to use their discretion and be able to apply their minds when it comes to enforcing of the regulation.
Thank you so much. That was JMPD's Wayne Minnar speaking to us here, urging motorists to ensure that they're safe on the roads as they return from their holiday destinations. Also, a word of caution for those who are traveling in the evenings to ensure that they are home before the 9 p.m. curfew. And they said that law authorities are out in their full force and will be ensuring that all the COVID regulations as well as safety regulations on the roads are adhered to. That's it for me for now. Back to you in studio.
Thank you very much, Hasina. That's Hasina Gori, reporter there for us at the Crown Interchange, speaking to JMPD spokesperson Wayne Minnar. Of course, giving you all the information that you need, those of you that are coming from the different provinces, and for those of us who are in Gauteng at the moment, also just be careful on the roads as traffic does indeed pick up as people come back for work or from holidays. All right, let's take a short break. More news after this.